we're so hard on ourselves, like there's something that happened, or I don't know if it's when social media came out, or maybe it's been like this for hundreds of years, but us as women, we feel very unworthy. Or maybe it's all humans, maybe men too, but I can only speak for myself and what I see with my clients, and most of my clients are women, but most of us feel very unworthy, and then that unworthy feeling creates these emotions within us, like a deep depression, anxiety, anger. And like I said, yeah, you can never really attract what you want if that's what's being instilled in you.
This is going to be called the Self Reinvented Podcast.
Yes.
What does that
Yes.
mean to you, like that sentence?
Self reinventing, like that's something that I've dealt with personally for a while, but to me it basically means evolving, as a human being. I think it's really important to self grow, be a little bit better than you were the day before.
Choosing to invest in our health, even if that means letting go of people, places, and things.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's something that I think is important. Like, being Latina, well, I'm Hispanic and Italian, and we're very like family orientated. Like, I have a million cousins, sisters, brothers, and I feel like sometimes people think that just because they're your family, you have to stay or you have to deal with it. If it's not good for you, or if it's toxic and it's not helping you be the best that you can be, it's lowering you down, it's not helping you grow, then it's okay to energetically cut them off, And I think people need to feel safe about that, or feel okay about that, because there could be a lot of guilt, especially like us Hispanic people. There will be a lot of guilt if you don't call your cousin back, or you don't text them back, or like you don't go to this family party. But at the end of the day, we're gonna get into it, but at the end of the day, it's okay to prioritize your peace.
I like how you mentioned guilt, and
Yes.
about like a lot of us feel like we have to, there's expectations on us from society, from our families, that you have to kind of like endure it when somebody's continuing to berate you, or to continue to be
Keep you in the low, like
just
keep you down.
be like just very heavy all the time,
Yeah.
and treat you unfairly and things like that. And you feel like, just because this person is a part of your close family, that you have to be there for them. But after a while of trying to help foster their health, and they're choosing to
Yeah.
decline,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to find a way to set boundaries. And so
Yes.
that's a whole part.
Yes, that's a whole,
the growing.
yes, set the boundaries.
Attracting partners, friends, and experiences that reflect our fears and insecurities. What does that even mean?
Okay, yeah, I really like the word attract. Everybody will say, like, oh, you attract what you get. You put out good, you get good back. But to go deeper on that, like, it is true. Like, the energy that you put out, like your thoughts and your emotions that you put out into this reality, will attract people. Whether it's you want love, so you attract that boyfriend, or you attract that type of a partner. And same thing, like with your best friends, you are who you hang out with. I feel there's so many things in this world that it's like agendas that try to distract us with fear, or like hate, like just a lot of like low emotions try to distract us by getting us to feel like that. um, and if you are feeling that and seeing that and absorbing that, then you're going to call in negative things, or you're going to call in the same exact thing that you've been calling in, like a loop. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean by like a loop? And I think of, like, I talk to a lot of women, and it's funny, and I experienced this with myself too. Like, for all of my 20s, I was like attracting the same type of relationship every single time. And it got to a point where it's like, well, what the hell am I doing? Like, why do I keep on attracting these guys? And I'm at 34 now, figuring out that, like, like I have to take accountability. Like, I have to realize, like, I'm attracting that type of person because there's something in within me that I haven't healed from yet, or that I'm still broadcasting out in this
Mm-hmm.
what am I trying to say? Like there's something I'm still attracting because there's an energy I'm putting out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope
So
I
that means
explained
like
that.
low self-worth,
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah. Low
just,
self-esteem.
yeah, low self-esteem, maybe like harboring some kind of like shame or guilt or frustrations that you've
Yes.
experienced in the past
Yes.
could reflect then in your friendships and in your
Oh,
partners, where you start to attach on to this person because you think they're here completing your
yes.
life, but
Yes.
they're here just to trigger you.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what this life is about, you know? This life is all about learning your lessons and like moving on from that lesson and then going on to the next, right? But it's mastering how to get rid of those lower emotions, like you said, self-worth. We have to learn how to attract what we want. And it's super, I mean, it could be as simple as like recognizing it and then being like, hey, I do that too. Hey, like recognizing a thought you might have, like, oh, I'm ugly, or oh, I'm old, I'm fat, no one's going to want me, I'm unworthy of his love. Why doesn't he love me? You know, these are all things that it's like within us, you know, it's like it's something in your mind that's making you believe that, so you believe that, and then you just broadcast it out into the universe, and then that's what's created.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's super important that we try to uplift ourselves, you know, like be your uplift ourselves, like look in the mirror, love yourself, give yourself grace, like, and it's definitely a journey. No, it's definitely a journey to attract what you truly want, whether that's love, success, peace. It's a journey for sure.
I like that you said becoming. It's a becoming. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's being our biggest advocates. So we have to
Yes.
be our own cheerleaders because, of course, for years we
Yes.
have just listened to what our friends, family said to us, what they said, our teachers said, what
Yeah,
our friends
social
have said,
media, you know,
what the
predictive, yeah,
magazines have
magazines,
said.
the shows, the predictive programming.
So it's an
Yeah.
unlearning process to
That's I like how you
remember.
said that. Unlearning, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really think about it, you know, humans are like half water, electrolytes, and like some nerve endings and flesh. And we go outside and we're literally like batteries. Like we are conductive, we're powerful, we attract, like we give out. I feel like that's the whole point of this, is to remember, like to remember that. You know, there's something deep in your soul that knows that you are a divine creature created by God, and you do have the power to attract what you want.
Being open to switching careers and believing in yourself.
Okay, this is something that I have a lot to talk about. Because I worked at the hospital for many years. I wasn't always a nurse. I was a surgical tech working in surgery, which that is like the best job. I tell any young woman that doesn't know what to do and but likes anatomy and doesn't mind blood, be a surgical tech. You know, the money's good and you get to look at anatomy, you get to help surgeons. Like that was the best job ever. But anyway, yeah, I worked at a hospital. I had like a hospital job for 10 years from the time I was 19 to the time I was 30. And it was when I was 30 that I started to really awaken. And I freaking left the hospital. And I did it in a messed up way. I did it like, you know, F you, I'm gone. And I don't recommend, I'm not telling you guys to do that, but I did it in a very messy way. But I think I had the space, I gave myself space for that. But I always want to tell people, like, it's not the end. Like, any job, whether it's the hospital, you're a nurse working on the floor, or you know you're somebody who, I don't know, like anything at all, that's not the end for you. Anything is possible. And if you want to be an artist, or if you want to be a music producer, or I mean anything that makes your heart sing, I think people get scared because they have this misconception that if they want to leave their job, they have to have all the answers. But
Mm-hmm.
it's okay not to have all the answers. Like, you will be surprised how God and the universe really does help you along your journey. But you just got to believe in yourself, and you got to have the strength and the courage to choose yourself, to get a new job. Like, I left the hospital right after COVID happened, and I was like, you know what? I want to work at med spas. I want to help women. I want to help women awaken, first of all. I want to help women remember that you can anti-age with literally using your meditating. And I want to help women remember like who they are. And then also I want to treat people who aren't like so sick, you know what I mean? Because that's a lot of pressure. Like, that's a lot. But I left the hospital one day, and I decided to work at med spas. The money wasn't great at first, but I did like half med spa, half surgery center. So I was still doing like hospital work, but moonlighting at med spas. And then eventually, I mean, because even outpatient surgery could be wild, that even I think the whole all of it's wild, but. And then at one point, I was just like, you know what, Bree, if you really want this, you gotta just go for it. And I put my hands up, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay getting paid, like not getting paid as much as the hospital. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, if it means being happy, if it means like following my dreams, fuck it. Do it. Let's do it. And it felt like there was all this pressure and darkness at me at first, and I felt like I had reached rock bottom. But actually, looking back on it now, it was the most transformational year of my life. And it was just because I had the courage to choose myself. And I want more women to get that courage, because we feel stuck,
Mm-hmm.
if we're in a marriage or we're in a long-term relationship, or we have a house, we have a car, we have the kids, like, we feel so stuck. But you're
Mm-hmm.
really not stuck. Anything is possible. It's wild what you set your mind to. Like, where your energy goes, it flows.
Right.
That is definitely true. But it's not too late. It's not too late to follow your dreams.
What are we doing right now?
Okay, so this is 96% pure oxygen. So the way that you do it, you have your little cannula. You
Okay.
put this in your nose.
Oh, this part goes this way.
Yeah, you could do it. Or does it? Yeah, it goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wrap it behind your ears.
We have a lot of fears or doubts or self-image issues that we
Yes.
attract that, and a lot of us women stay in that.
Yes.
And they think that that's all they're worth. That's all they're gonna have in their life is this partner, this bank account,
Right. They feel
this
stuck to
body.
their life, to their current reality.
They feel bound to it. So creating a new reality, what does that
Yes.
mean to you? And what would you say to a woman that were to say, hey, Bree, my life sucks.
Yeah.
I want to make a new one. How do I even start?
Yeah. So if someone said that to me, I would say, and I know this is so cliche, but you got to start within yourself. Like, and it takes a lot of work, but not to say that it's impossible or to like discourage someone from creating their new reality, but like, before you can have that power to like manifest what you want, you really do gotta go through like yourself first. Like, what are the things that you're holding on to? What are the identities that you're saying are you? Like, I think it's like, you really gotta work within yourself, whether it's like old traumas that you haven't like processed yet. And that can be processing traumas. I mean, like, I feel like that's a whole nother podcast, and that's not to say I'm an expert at it at all, because I'm definitely still in my own healing journey. But it is an important part of creating your new reality, because the way that I look at it is, when you're attached to these identities, whether it's like you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a nurse, you're, I don't know, a contractor, whatever, like whatever it is that you are, a teacher, you're harnessing yourself to that identity. So when you're harnessing yourself to that, it's kind of a little bit harder to break out of that and do what you want to do, whether it's like you want to be a chef or an artist or whatever. It's hard to break out of it because you keep on telling your subconscious, like, this is what I am, this is what I am, and this is what I'll always be. So it's kind of like you gotta like believe in yourself, go through the process of getting rid of those blocks. You know what I mean? Like the traumas we were talking about, the programming that we've been programmed for. Like it's kind of when you hear people say like detaching from the matrix. I know that sounds like so woo woo, but it really is like a matrix. And it's just, you know, there's a couple people I listen to for this, and I'm not like 100% like an expert at this because, like I said, I'm still creating my reality. I'm still healing and trying to get rid of some blocks that I have. But I like to listen to a lot of Joe Dispenza stuff, his meditations, and it could start with as simple as Joe Dispenza's meditation on Spotify. Like, give that a listen to in the morning and the night, but really commit to it and really start to embody that, because the meditations that I listen to, it's kind of about that. It takes you on, it gets you in a relaxed state, and then it gets you through this journey of like, who do you want to be? Like, what is the reality that you want to create? I go out in my front yard and I'll put my yoga mat down and I'll literally just lay in the sun and I'll try to be intentional about my day. Like, who is it that I want to embody today? Like, because there's so many different parts of me, right? Like, there's so many different layers to myself. But when I take that time in the morning, whether it's, you know, everybody's different. I like to do it in the sun, in the grass. But it could be like, I don't know, what do you like to do? I like drink coffee in the morning when you're by yourself, you know? It's just taking that time in the morning, giving yourself that space to think about, who do you want to be that day? Like, do you want to be fun and free and happy and peaceful? Or do you want to be stressed out? Do you want to be unhappy? Do you want to be stressed out about a guy? You know, and those are just things that I deal with myself. So that's one thing that I do when I'm trying to create my reality, is like, I'll be very intentional for the beginning of my day, visualizing it and then having an emotion behind it, a positive emotion behind it, and then I'm telling you, it will happen.
I love that you've mentioned like getting rid of the noise. To me, is like the chaos in the mind.
Yes.
The chaos of the what did you say? Programming.
Yes.
Of the limited beliefs, the self-doubt, the frustrations, all those things.
Let it go.
Then you're open enough that you can visualize, because there was a point in time in my life where I couldn't even sit down to silence because I was eating myself alive.
Yes.
So,
and that, yes, I see that all the time. And me too. Like, when I first started this journey, like, I wouldn't be able to just stop my mind. And, you know, because our brains are just like, bah, 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 like, go, 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 go. Getting rid of the noise. That's the most important part. And having grace for yourself, giving yourself that moment to be relaxed. And with time and with practice, you will be able to do it for sure. It's just practice. I don't care how zen I can be, I still get stressed out and anxious about things. I visualize myself just letting go. Like, I'm not that person that I was today. Like, tomorrow I'm a new person.
Feeling the emotions before we reach the material form.
Yes. When you feel an emotion, that's like the pre-manifestation. Like, being able to control your thoughts, being able to control your emotions, and then being in a receptive state. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense in a sense
yeah.
of, I'm thinking the exact opposite. So how to like explain it to others is
Yeah.
like, when you're in the thick of it and your baby just pooped outside of their pants.
Yes.
And your husband is, I don't know, frustrated. You haven't had anything to eat. Your car is running on low,
So
and you're in the middle of nowhere, and you need a gas station. And so all these things odds are stacked up against you.
Yes.
And you feel like all of these emotions, and you just feel like so hopeless.
Yeah, it's like
there's just so much going on at once. You just like when is this going to stop? How did I even get here?
Yeah.
And how can
Yeah.
we control our minds and our emotions to tell us that we're safe, that we're going to be
Yes.
okay, that we're going to find a solution?
Yes.
And then,
And I guess it's believing that part, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like when all that craziness is going on, the hardest part is to be able to control it and then reopen yourself up. Like, put yourself back in a receptive state. You have control over yourself and how you're reacting to that situation. And the key is to not react. The key is to be like, okay, like, what do I need to do? Or like taking yourself out and then just doing what you have to do, change the baby. But I guess realizing that like none of that's your fault. Everything's okay. It's okay to be human. Give yourself grace, but know that you're in control of that situation. I mean, you can have a total crash out, or you can take yourself out, like put yourself in the observer way, like observe the situation, breathe, being like, okay, this isn't defining me. This isn't just because it's shitty in these few moments, like it's okay. But believing that and knowing and having faith that, you know what, it's gonna get better. I think that's something that us women / humans struggle with. And it's like the unrealistic expectation that everything has to be perfect. Like we have to be perfect. God forbid the baby poops in their pants. Like what the hell? Or God forbid they spilt milk.
and that's for the woman that's experienced the chaos. So the woman that might be
Yeah.
having a little bit more of a handle on those things, that have been maybe taking the steps towards understanding herself and
Yes.
knowing to look at things from an observer's perspective, might be ready for the next step, which is feeling the emotions that you want to experience before you see it physically.
Yes.
So if I'm going to be hating on my body,
Yes.
you know, and feeling like crap because if I don't really recognize myself in the mirror, I don't really like the way I look right now, I have to feel the emotions of how I would feel once I have the body, once I have that experience.
Yes.
Now.
Yes, you have to feel that now, and
Now.
then it will manifest into the reality.
And what would that person feel like? Would she feel energetic?
Yeah.
And what are the things that she would
like,
do?
what does it look like?
What would she do? She
Yeah.
would probably go for a daily walk.
Yeah.
She would probably incorporate protein or however
Yes.
kinds of protein.
Positive affirmations.
Things like that.
Yeah,
Making
meditation.
sure she prioritizes her peace, her sunshine.
That's so important. I'm so happy you said sunshine. It is so important to sit in the sun, and not to get too spiritual on you, but like I was saying earlier, like we're half water, electrolytes, and flesh and nerve endings. Sun is so important. Sun and sleep and exercise and nutrition. Those are the most important. That's the foundation. So, I mean, if you're going through a lot right now, try your best to just control the things that you can control. Control what's going in your mouth. Control the amount of sunlight and exercise that you're getting.
What goes on in our bodies when we hold on to toxins, pain, sadness, and anger?
Toxins, pain, sadness, and anger. Those are literally everything that ages us. That is everything that causes oxidative stress, which causes aging. And that's like that is something I'm so passionate about as an aesthetic nurse. Like, yes, I'm an aesthetic nurse, and yes, I care about beauty and, you know, anti-aging. But the thing that I feel really passionate about is showing women that there's so much more to it. There's so much more than lip filler and Botox and the lasers. Like, all of that stuff is great and beautiful tools, but it's from within. Like, toxins, like, you know, if your body is holding on to toxins, you're going to age more rapidly. Your liver is in charge of processing waste. So is your lymphatic system. I mean, every single organ has their process on how it eliminates waste. There's toxins everywhere. I mean, it could be environmental. It's the water, it's the chemtrails, it's the preservatives on the crops, or it's the, you know, the preservatives on the crops. It's everywhere. But if you are drinking enough water, exercising, sweating, having regular bowel movements, you know, being healthy with yourself, um, on a physical level, yes, like get rid of those toxins because those are aging you fast. But that's the same thing with like depression, anger, anxiety. That is just as bad as a Taco Bell meal at 12 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
those very dark emotions are just as unhealthy as your diet, like as someone's unhealthy diet. Because it could really, like, it could be catastrophic to yourself at a cellular level. Every single cell in your body, every single cell. So you got to think about yourself like you're a human, your flesh, and your like your organs, your flesh, your cells, you right? So down to the very little microscopic level, every single cell has these little antennas that are attached to them, and it helps them communicate with other cells, right? Like you go here, you go there, you do that, blah blah blah. But what toxins do and what stress does is it puts your body in a state where those little antennas, they get shorter and shorter and shorter. Like they degrade. The word is degrade. They degrade over time, and then they degrade more rapidly when you're not in a healthy state, whether that's physically, emotionally, energetically. Like, and what we want to do to anti-age is to preserve those little antennas. Because once those little antennas get short enough, those cells start to act a little funny. They don't work as efficiently. They wreak havoc in our body, and they cause disease. You know, so I tell women all the time, like, meditating, you can literally tell your cells, like, just visualize your cells and those little antennas strong and long and healthy. And you can really prevent aging just like that. I think aging gracefully is taking rapid accountability of yourself, what you believe, what you're broadcasting, and like what you're doing for your body. I think those are some major things. Like, if you can control your mind, and if you can become aware of how powerful your mind is, and you do the necessary things to, like, you know, like I said, process all the negativity, fix your body, fix your body, not just from an emotional level, but a physical level. Take accountability, like, in yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself, be your own best friend, prioritize your peace. Like, I think that is aging gracefully, and accepting yourself, you know, like, we're all different, and it's okay. Like, it's okay that I have a gap in my tooth and you have perfect teeth. I'm just making an example. It's okay, you know, like, it's okay. We're all so different. And sometimes it saddens me that society puts a lot of pressure on us women to look a certain way, to be a certain way. But I think that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be yourself. You know, like, you're beautiful. Everybody has the right to age gracefully to what they think is how they want, like what they believe is beautiful, you know? And I'm knowing, like, I try, these are just things that I implement in myself. I'm in my mid 30s now, and I'm starting to realize that I can't be toxic, that I have to love myself. I'm like, oh, dang it. I can't call him 100 times and force him to talk to me. Damn it, I'm just joking. But like, I have to take accountability and love myself, be my own best friend, take care of my body, take care of my mind, you know? And that's how you can age gracefully. And that's not to show, like, there's nothing wrong with Botox and microneedling and lasers because I love all that. And I love the GLPs. I mean, the GLPs peptides really changed my life. I love peptides. So I just tell people, just love yourself. Love yourself and be graceful, meditate, heal some of those darker things that are blocking you. Look at yourself in the mirror naked or with clothes, but look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, like I can create my own reality. I if I want something, I'm going to put my mind to it and get it. And everybody has that power. That's what I think.
I
Yes,
like
is that
that
okay?
one.
Is that all right?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, you can have it. You can have anything you want. This world has endless possibilities. It's crazy. I mean, there's so many other topics we could get into, but like for another podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know. I hope I reached people. I hope I said some good stuff. I hope this is just my opinion, my messages. I'm definitely not giving any sort of health advice, but it's just kind of my journey and like what I've experienced.
Absolutely. And I think that's what matters. And it'll get to who it needs to.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it.
Oh, high five.
Thank you